Oh, howdy there. I didn't see you. I was jamming out to my Leonard Skinner. Today I'm going to talk to y'all about my favorite piece of Southern literature, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It takes place in the Deep South during the Great Depression. 1930s Alabama is a time of serious racism and class discrimination. The story focuses on a one-sided trial where a black man's word is against a white woman's. We learn about different perspectives and the struggle for equality through the eyes of Scout Finch. She's a young tomboy with spunk.
Scout Finch is a 6-year-old girl in the style of a novel who lives in Macomb County, Alabama. She is raised by a single father, Atticus, who works as the county lawyer. Scout grows up with her big brother, Jim, a level-headed intellectual. She has no memory of her mother due to her death when she was very young. With their mother dead, the Finch's family's black maid, Calpurnia, assumes the role of a mom to Scout during her childhood.
While Jim and Scout grow up playing together, they become obsessed with their neighbors, the Radleys, and the mystery of why Boo never leaves his house. Their friend Dill visits them in the summers. Dill is Jim's friend and Scout's love interest. He always keeps things interesting with his wild imagination.
The neighbor, Boo Radley, is allegedly crazy, and the whole county makes up rumors about him. Jim, Dill, and Scout make games about his life and play them outside. Atticus does not approve of their games because they're making fun of Boo Radley's situation that they don't understand. This is part of the story's theme of putting yourself in someone else's shoes and understanding their perspective.
Hello, wife. How was your day?
It was great. How about you, darling?
Yeah!
Kids, what game are you playing?
Nothing, Atticus. Don't worry.
You ain't making fun of nobody?
No, sir.
Alright, you guys behave yourselves.
I don't think we should play this no more.
He doesn't know anything. What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
Yeah. In the case, Atticus defends Tom Robinson thoroughly and easily shows the holes in the Ewell's made-up story. Atticus is one of the first lawyers to wholeheartedly defend a Negro, although he knows that because of the prejudice of the town, he will lose. This is exactly what happens when Tom Robinson is found guilty after the jury deliberates for a substantial amount of time. Atticus challenged the jury to consider the case and think instead of going with the Southern culture that all blacks are liars. During the trial, Tom Robinson was being harshly cross-examined. When this was going on, Dill couldn't handle it. He ran out of the courthouse crying and upset that Tom was being treated poorly. He ended up running into the town drunk Mr. Raymond. Scout was hesitant, having heard stories of him, but Dill goes right up to him anyways. Mr. Raymond offered him a drink, and Dill happily drank it up. As it turns out, it was just Coke. Scout and Dill learned that Mr. Raymond only pretended to be the town drunk. He did this to give the townspeople an answer for why he preferred the black company. They thought no one in the right man would marry a black woman and live with them. But if he was a drunk, the people could understand. This shows that while not knowing him, you see him in the street and judge him as a low-life drunk. But once you see it his way, Mr. Raymond is just making excuses for the lifestyle he chooses and isn't all that bad.
Atticus may have lost the trial, but he still made a fool out of Bob Ewell because most of the people in the court realized that Tom Robinson was innocent. Bob Ewell swears his revenge because this was one moment of fame due to his low status. Atticus understands how he feels and assumes he won't do anything and that he'll get his anger out just by making threats.
Hush up, I think I hear something.
I don't hear anything.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. Let's just keep going.
Break yourself, fool!
After Boo saves Jim and Scout and carries Jim to the house, the doctor and sheriff come. The doctor concluded the Scout only had a minor head injury However, Jim has a broken arm. After Scout checks on her brother Jim and the doctor puts him to sleep, Atticus, the sheriff, Scout, and Boo all head to the porch. As they are talking, the sheriff reports to Atticus that he found Mr. Yule dead with a knife in him. He tells Atticus that the story is, during the attack, he tripped and fell on his knife. Atticus assumes that the story is to cover up for what he thinks really happened. That Jim saved Scout and stabbed Mr. Yule to death. However, this isn't what really happened. The sheriff is really using this story to protect the real hero, Arthur Radley, also known as Boo Radley. Scout comes to the conclusion that giving Arthur Radley all the unwanted attention would be like killing a mockingbird. This can be compared to convicting and killing Tom Robinson, an innocent black man.
Oh, howdy. I'll wrap this up for you after I pop a squat on this here swing yonder. Well, all in all, it was quite the journey for Scout, Jim, Atticus, and the whole town of Maycomb. They learned to look at things from the perspective of others and to resolve their issues while considering everybody's point of view. During the trial, the Finch's family's morals were tested. They had to go against what society wanted. Even though Atticus knew that he would probably lose the case, he did his best to defend a respectable black man, which went against the social norm. Scout and Jim had to grow up quickly and learn how to deal with the issues in their town and to be respectable to everyone they knew. But through the whole story, they considered the perspective of others and knew that they had to respect people for where they were at. The lesson of walking in someone else's shoes is woven throughout the plot of this socially and culturally challenging novel. To Kill a Mockingbird calls its reader to treat everyone with the same kind of respect, knowing that we can't fully understand what another human is going through once we walk a mile in their shoes. So stop watching this summary and go buy yourself a darn book. It's a swell one.